Hello and welcome to another live stream live from HOFA-College, where we're gonna talk about your mixes live at Show Your Mix. My name is Steffen. I'm a tutor and audio engineer here at HOFA-College, and right next to me is
Joshua Horspool. So I'm just gonna explain a few things to show us your mix. You can send us emails at showusyourmix@hofa.de. And please just send us MP3 files or WeTransfer links, because like everything else would take too long, like to open up and stuff like that.
Yeah, exactly, because we need to some file we can import it right here in our DAW.
Exactly,
and use our IQ analyzer to give you visual feedback as well. So yeah, but that's not everything we want to talk about, because we have a song contest going on here at HOFA. You can check that at hofa-contest.com. There are many great prizes to win, software, hardware, you name it. And yeah, feel free to join and check out the songs from all the other people who shared their music with us. And yeah, I guess, did I forget anything?
No, I think we
I don't think so. Yeah. Okay, so let's just dive in. Let's check if we have any submissions for today's Show Your Mix. And
what does the box say?
It says we have something, a song named Fight and Survive by the band Godsize. And yeah, let's check that. As we can see, it's already limited, so we have a mastered version here. Gonna turn it down a bit, and I'd say let's have a listen.
Statue. Battle reaches within your soul, constant struggle, will against will, and every day we fight to stay alive. One must bow down, and the other will survive.
do you want to start?
I was actually going to suggest that you were going to start. But
Okay.
I can say a few things as well.
Doesn't matter. So feel free to start.
Okay. Yeah. So what I'd like to say at first was like that at the beginning I thought like the instrumental mix was sounding like a little bit dull. Like the crash cymbals, they were like sounded like a little bit far away. They could have had a little bit more impact. And the main thing that I wanted to say was that I think that the vocals could use a little more dirt, you know, a little more saturation or distortion to blend into this rock type feeling that's carrying the song, and just like blend in a little bit nicer with the guitars. And yet that was like the main things. What I really liked were those reverb effects on the vocals in between, because they were like gave like a really nice atmosphere in between. And yeah.
Yeah, I'd agree in the chorus and other parts, but I feel these. I also liked it, but when it comes to the vocals, especially these parts in the verse, when it's only vocals, they felt a bit dry and thin to me. It's a nice idea to get more dynamics in the song, just to get more impact when the instrumental kicks in again, but I guess they could sound a bit bigger and a bit more roomy. I also like, but I like the vocal performance. That doesn't mean that a little bit of dirt and just a bit gritty sound wouldn't benefit the song, but it's still pretty good. What I also liked were the drums. They were very impactful, but I think the snare just stood out a bit too much for my taste.
Yeah.
It was really loud. I like snares. I have some kind of weird snare fetish, but I think it just fit in the drums a bit more, just so it doesn't stick out as much as it did.
Yeah, also like I thought that the kick was missing some transients in comparison to the snare. Like the snare was like really poppy, like really in your face, and the kick, the bass of the kick was there, but I was missing like that transient sound.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Yeah.
It doesn't necessarily have to be as metal clicky as you hear it in other productions that are not as rough rough in a good way. Not that it's not processed or something, but we in this type of music, a bit of grit and roughness is actually desired. So
I only meant like in comparison to the snare.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
What I also noticed were that there are some frequencies in the vocals that stood out a bit too much. You can actually see in the analyzer right here around 701K that were parts of the vocals that sounded kind of spitty and very upfront. So just with a little bit of EQ, that's usually a range that sounds a bit nasally and could sound a bit spitty. So so technically speaking, we're around minus 8.2 LUFS. Can we say about that? That's kind of what we want in this genre: loud and dense master. So
everything good there.
So guitar sound was pretty organic, really nice. They were loud and pretty upfront and very fitting for this genre. So overall, great job.
Yeah, and especially I liked the guitar solo part when it kicked in, because it was like just like this slight dullness that I was speaking about at the beginning of the song. Like as soon as the guitar solo kicked in, it was just like magic to my ears. You know?
Absolutely. So I think that concludes our first song. If you want us to analyze your song and provide some feedback, please send us your song as an email to showyourmix@hofa.de.
Exactly.
As an MP3 file with high resolution, or as a WeTransfer link, as a WAV file. So we hope to hear more from you, and let's check if we have any more. We have here. Gonna get rid of that. Check what we have here. It's a song called "Don't Go," and it's a rehearsal room version mixed by Klaus. So let's check out what that sounds like. Also pretty loud, so just back up a little bit.
Don't
Alrighty then. So I guess I'm gonna start now.
Yeah.
Okay. You said that it was a rehearsal room version, therefore it sounded very organic, which isn't a bad thing at all. I really liked the vibe of it, and it was actually pretty clean. So I don't know if you were recording to a click, as I do with my pencil here, but very clean, pretty tight. Even though I noticed some, let's say, playing mistakes in the guitar solo and some not completely on spot on vocals, but as you said, it is a rehearsal room version, and therefore it sounds pretty good. What I noticed, even if we take a closer look at the analyzer right here, it was a bit narrow regarding the stereo panorama. Therefore, the guitars overlapped and masked each other and built up around, I don't know, it was somewhere between, as you can actually see it here, between 300 and 500 hertz. And they sounded a bit resonant at some points. You could even create more space in the center of the stereo field. And I guess the vocals actually would benefit from it, because I felt they were pretty quiet.
Yeah, and I also felt that they were pretty like slightly resonant in the mid frequencies, like also like around 500 hertz. And I really feel like they could use like a little EQ boost around like 2 to 3K.
Yep.
And it's like that's also visible in the analyzer, like around 2 to 3K. And it's just just dips down a bit, and it's just that's like where the most of the like what's it called? Where you understand most of the vocals, because like everything like below like 700 1K sounds like muffled, and everything above 5K is just like fizzy, and that's like the area where you, even with a bandpass filter, you understand the words. And exactly, I think the vocals could benefit from that. And like you said, from a little bit of panning of the guitars in the stereo panorama. Yeah.
Because that actually goes a long way. And overall, it had a kind of cloudy feeling, because it was very roomy. I guess that's what comes with the fact that it is rehearsal recording, and that doesn't necessarily be a bad thing, because it also could transfer a certain vibe, and just it's described as an indie piece, and you could also create some more indie rock music that sounds a bit dreamy and very with much reverb and something. It doesn't necessarily have to be bad, and therefore I guess you knew how to use the tools to get this certain vibe, and that's a good thing. And yeah, and what you could also do, like for this dreamy vibe, is like maybe try to EQ the reverb if you're using a send, like get some of that mid frequencies a little less dominant, because like we already said, like the guitars were focused around 500 hertz, the vocals were focused around that area as well, and with the reverb, everything kind of like mods up a little bit, and maybe like EQing the reverb would also be an option. And only in comparison, like to the rest of the song, I felt like the drums were a little bit dry. Like, I don't know what your thoughts were about that, but like I felt like, especially in comparison to the vocals and the guitars, felt a bit the drums felt like a bit isolated, and maybe like using a short impulse response for the kick, and like give a little bit more space into the snare would help glue everything together a bit better. Why not? So, but that being said, because I think we don't want to end this on a negative note, it was played pretty good, and if this is how you sound live, that would be really interesting. So, I guess you have anything you want to add to that, or
no? I'm done.
Okay, then let's move on. See if we have any other submissions. If you have any questions, we got the live chat open right here, so feel free to ask or provide us some feedback, and we always love to hear from you. So let's check if we have any other songs left. Yes. Come on. Got a song named Pain. And it's also a rock song. And Freddy points out that there were no samples or amp plugins used. It's all played live, 2 guitars, bass, and drums. That sounds pretty interesting, so let's have a listen. So turn it down before we start, because we're around minus 11.9 LUFS. Guess we'll check it out.
Yeah.
I don't feel the way I've ever felt. I know, gotta smile and not get worried. I try, but it shows. Anyone can make what I have built, and better now. Anyone can find the same white build. Takes my pain away. It's a lie. A kiss with open eyes. She's not breathing back. Anything but bother me. Takes my pain away. Never mind. These are hurry times. Oh, I can let it bother me. I never thought I'd walked away from you. I did, but it's a false sense of accomplishment. Every time I quit, anyone can see my every flaw. It isn't hard, anyone can say they're above this all. Takes my pain away, it's a lie. A kiss with open eyes, she's not breathing back. Anything but bother me. Takes my pain away, never mind. These are hurry times. Oh, I can let it bother me. I can let it bother me. Takes my pain away, it's a lie. A kiss with open eyes, she's not breathing back. Anything but bother me. Takes my pain away, never mind. These are hurry times. Oh, I can let it bother me. Takes my pain, takes my pain, takes my pain away.
Nice.
Very
Cool.
catchy.
Very catchy song. Yeah, I really liked it. Really liked the vocal performance. Really cool the way the band works together, and like listening to it. Like first I saw the frequency response in the analyzer, and I thought like, okay, the low end looks like a bit weak, but like especially the bass guitar was quite noticeable. And yeah, but I feel the first thing I noticed was that the hi-hats were quite loud. They could like I feel like they could just like use a little less volume, and yeah, and especially when it comes to the vocal doubles, the choir, the sung in choirs, I felt like they were a little bit loud as well, but they could also be intended, and definitely made the song like impact quite nicely. And yeah, you have anything else to say?
Yeah, the fact that it sounds kind of familiar. So is it a cover song? I don't know. It could be.
Yeah.
Pretty certain that that's actually a cover song. It is. But yeah, that being said, let's talk about the performance. And it was actually really good, pretty well recorded. Even though I have the same thing with the first song we heard today. The snare was pretty loud, I think.
Yeah.
It was yet again, I like loud snares, and but as always, just try to glue the drums together a bit more. Even though it's the leading part of the drums, it could be a bit quieter, just so it doesn't stick out as much as it did. Same goes for the vocals. The performance is pretty good, but they're also a bit loud, especially in the chorus. I liked how the chorus is just a little bit louder as the rest of the song. We have this impact. The song opens up in this part. That's as well a thing of writing as well as mixing. But in comparison to the guitars, I think they were pretty loud. So it just felt a bit empty, so to speak. That sounds harder than it actually is, because the vocals should be up front, but I guess you could just push the guitars a bit more just to make it sound even bigger in the chorus. Anything else? Because the only thing I noticed that wasn't as well played as the rest was the solo. I guess there was something I just when I heard that you just slipped or there were some noises while playing. Just make sure if you hear something like that, just try to do it again. We have the possibilities with overdub or something, just because we are used to perfection or close to perfection. If you want it organic, not a problem. Then just do it one take, but do it 30 times until it's really clean. Another thing, the bass, it sounded good, but just for my taste, it could have just a bit more grit to be even more noticeable and just fit this gritty, Brit rock, Brit pop, indie sound a bit more. But yet again, good performance, good mix. The drums were pretty well recorded, I think.
Yeah, like one more thing to the snare. Like at some points, I noticed that it was like quite distorted. Don't know if that was intended or not, but like not all the way through, but like with some hits, it was just like it felt a bit too much for my taste. But generally, I really like the performance. Yeah, nice.
Okay, let's move on. We have some time. Let's check what we have here. Pretty rock heavy episode so far.
Yeah.
What do we have here? A song called Don't Look Back, and it says that it's hardcore punk.
Nice.
That's gonna be interesting. So this is the song "Don't Look Back" from the hardcore punk band Out of Step. All instruments and vocals are recorded in my DIY basement studio with simple equipment. A lot of fun and love for this music. This EP is my first complete production. All recordings, mix, master. The main goal was modern but raw hardcore sound. Thanks for the feedback, Timo. So let's check it out. It's also mastered, so just turn it down a little bit and have some fun.
Das habe ich geerbt, Digga. 70.000.
Wann haben Sie das geerbt?
Vor gut über einem halben Jahr.
Haben Sie das Geld noch?
Ist alles verkokst.
Don't look back. Don't look back, I live for now and today. We're talking about the past, listen what I have to say. Many ways to go, many shoes to play. Get your money, yes, right off my way. No time to stop, no time for regret. The engine of fashion is back on track. Here we are, ready to attack. Fuck the past, don't look back. Mistakes and failures are a part of life. Don't be upset, not tonight. Here we are, ready to attack. Fuck the past,
hardcore punk. Anything above 2 minutes isn't hardcore punk. No, just a joke. I gonna start. This is as you described. This is hardcore punk at its finest. So pretty raw, I'd say. Pretty DIY. That's just the style of the genre, I guess. So not necessarily a bad thing. When the first thing I noticed were the guitars. That's why I switched to mono for a second, because I wanted to check if check the phase, or if there are any phase issues, and if they cancel each other out. And so to speak, I was right, because when you check your mix in mono, or you check this mix in mono, the guitars kind of disappear. That's not unusual for this type of music if you have widely panned guitars, doubled guitars, but the mono compatibility is still a thing, and you can actually see it right here. It's pretty wide, and if you check it in mono, the guitars just disappear. The drums were pretty rough and not played badly, but they sounded rough, and you could go even further with processing and mixing, but yeah, we're speaking about a genre that lives from the DIY character, bands like Suicidal Tendencies or you name it. But on the other hand, there are bands like, I don't know, Sick of It All, for example, that have always great production, very clean, but I guess that's a matter of taste.
Yeah, I would say the same. Like when it comes to mixing, processing, like especially with a genre like this, it's really up to taste. If you want it to sound polished, which is like not really polished, but like processed, or if you want it to sound raw. Yeah, I also noticed quite some things like with the guitar. I thought like that especially the guitar low end on the sides was a bit like too much. It was like a bit too much boom in the on the sides, and I would like just suggest like totally apart from the mono compatibility, just like to EQ out like the low end with like a low shelf with a mid-side EQ, and just like to keep the crunch on the sides and keep the low end in the middle. And yeah, when it comes, just like you said, when it comes to mixing the other instruments, it's completely like you said in the email, it's intended to be raw. But I feel like especially the snare could use a little more of its fundamental frequencies. Was like, it sounded a bit thin to me. And yeah, but I don't really have anything else to say. Right now.
Maybe the kick drum, it sounded very clicky and very, not necessarily metal, but very, a bit artificial clicky, but not, it's hard to describe, even harder in English. Yeah, just the kick drum, the sound could be a bit more balanced and less clicky, boxy, clicky. It's just lost for words, for God's sake. So, if you don't have anything to add, we're just gonna leave it here with this song.
Yeah, but I really like the song.
Yeah, that's not the point. It's pretty good, and it's fits everything this genre wants. Even especially if we say we're DIY, we're underground, we want this kind of aesthetic for our song, then it's everything you want. So, yeah, go for it.
Okay.
So we have time for one more, I guess, and it's we're sticking with the rock or metal theme. It's Symphonic Metal Epica Unleashed. I'm pretty sure that's a cover, because there is a song by the band Epica. Yeah, it says this is an instrumental cover of an Epica song. I hope that's okay. It is. It's symphonic metal. It's a large part of how I practice mixing and try new techniques. Why not? So let's have a listen. Okay for you just to skip a little bit because I actually know the song. Yeah, so that's actually the first song by Epica I ever heard. You know Epica?
No, never heard them. Never heard them, but I really like the style.
That's kind of Nightwishy, I'd say, because they're usually the reference for this type of music. But yeah, Epica are actually pretty big, and this is pretty close to the original. Even though I missed the big choir in the beginning, but that's only a thing, I guess, if you know the original.
Yeah. And it's hard to sing the choir yourself.
Yeah, I think so.
but
but yeah, as I said, pretty close. Like the drums, like the strings. Even though I thought they were a bit loud, even if it is it's symphonic metal, of course. We want loud strings. We want this big orchestral feeling. I would assume I feel that way because the vocals are missing, but yet again they could be a bit quieter because they are a filling instrument. And another thing is the guitar sound. It's pretty Swedish, I say. I guess if you're into metal, you know this more close to the typical Swedish chainsaw thing than to an actually present sound, more clean sound, that cleaner, distorted sound that you want for this genre. It could just be a bit more present, a bit less boomy, and
yeah, exactly. So one thing that I wanted to say as well, but yeah, especially like I felt like the strings were also quite resonant in the mids again, like they were like masking the guitar a bit, and I felt if the guitar had like you said a bit more focus on onto the present section, like around 5 to 7K, something like that. The guitar would stand out a little bit better. And well, I also noticed that at some points, especially in the bridge, there was quite some low end rumble that you couldn't quite hear on the headphones, but you could see it.
See it pretty clearly here.
Pretty clearly in the analyzer, and it's just like when it comes to stuff like that, it's just important to use a low cut on the elements that are causing this low end rumble, because like when it gets played on a subwoofer or anything that can display frequencies around 20 to 30 hertz, then it won't sound that good. Because on most systems you won't notice it, but when it comes to that point,
it's gonna be on a big PA or something. It's gonna rumble a lot.
Yeah, exactly. And I felt like also I had the same thing as with the song before, that like the bass area around 100 hertz was like also again like a bit too wide in the guitars for me, and I would also like just use like a mid-side EQ to do the same trick as I said before.
Yeah, another thing I want to point out is the bass, because you found a good way to keep. It's always a hard thing if you just tuned low and you got guitars, bass drum, and bass fighting in the low frequencies just for the place. You need to have a pretty distorted and gritty bass sound, and I guess you did that really well. It was very distinguished, and it just cut through pretty good. And yeah, I like it.
Yeah.
So, he actually wrote, it's intended for vocal covers. So yes, it's definitely lacking the choir. So, say if we find the YouTube choir just to fix that or something. If anyone is interested, it's on my channel as well. So yeah, check Dalgard Studios for some great covers of Epica songs and much more, I guess. So let's, even though. Yes, we're pretty close to the end, but I guess we're just gonna fit one more in. Let's have a look. What do we have here? It's a ballad. Just something different for today.
Yeah.
A lot of rock and metal for today. So
I wasn't sure like if the last one was going to like that direction that we had right now, or if I was just like expecting to hear some black metal or something.
Yeah, that would be kind of cool, because you actually can talk a lot about black metal. Not necessarily, even about the mixing stuff. Even though it's pretty rough. Okay, let's talk about Carolina. That's the name of the song. It's a ballad written by me, my harmony written for my friend at college in 2003. It was first piece I recorded with my Shure SM58 vocally. I imported the harmony from Sibelius and added Suitcase EP. Actually don't know what it is.
Suitcase EP.
Yeah. Added a Suitcase EP. I didn't play piano. It's from the score, which I wrote note for note in Sibelius and imported from as a MIDI. I sang. It was first study a singer, but it's for tenor really, and I'm a baritone. So let's check that.
There was a young girl called Carolina. She was Polish and bright. She always carried powder and lipstick so that she would look alright. Oh, come with me, let's hit the floor and boogie up all night. Oh, Carolina, won't you dance with me tonight?
about you in this fantastic mind. But I'm happiest when I'm thinking about you all the time. Carolina, don't be a fantasy, be mine. Now that we're moving, we gotta keep grooving on the dance floor tonight. Don't want you going anywhere, thinking if you wanna stay or not. Just kiss me now and pull me now. Be my sweet babe tonight. Oh, Carolina, just don't say dream. I'm thinking about you, and I'll be a fantasy.
Do you want to start?
Yeah, you did the last one, and I'll do this one. Okay. The first thing I noticed is that like the delay and the reverb on the vocals are very dominant.
Yes.
They are very dominant. I would suggest like especially like for a ballad like this to I don't know, yeah, like use a send, and especially like for the delay, maybe sidechain the delay to the vocals, and so the delay gets ducked down every time that the vocals sing if you want to have that strong of a delay. Or you could also use a second track that's full wet on the delay, and then just cut in the words that you want to have the delay on. And yeah, the second thing I noticed was that especially like with the reverb and the delay, like the mid frequencies around 500 to 700 hertz, which you can also
clearly see
in the analyzer. They were also getting really dominant, especially through the delay and
Change
reverb.
the color so you can see it a little bit better.
And yeah, like I felt at the beginning of the song, I felt like there would still be so I was expecting for like what was I going to say? Like I was expecting something to drop a fuller arrangement. Exactly, I was expecting something to drop a little bit more, or like anything into that direction, because like I felt that the build up at the beginning was really good, but like I was missing like a part that was like impacting, and yeah.
Even though it sounds pretty emotional, so pretty ballad, but as you said, there's something so to speak, there are some highlights missing. It's just kind of uniform when it comes to dynamics and something. Just I don't add more. You could add more instruments to the arrangement. Do stuff like additional pads. Just I don't know. I'm not really familiar with writing that style. I'm more of a metal guy. You could have noticed around this stream. But again, there's some things you'd always have if you want to have catchy songs, and that's some kind of highlights. That's usually the chorus.
I think it's not necessarily needed that you would use like other instruments, but like just get some variation to this e-piano sound that you were using, and just like add some highlights through. You can also add some highlights just through this second instrument.
And if you're using MIDI instruments, that's something I noticed, is that it doesn't sound very played. It's just you have your notes starting at one, all of them at probably the same velocity. It just doesn't sound really played. It sounds copy it or export it. There are instruments there where this is not that big of a deal, but if you're something like this electric piano stuff, it could be more. It just should sound a bit more natural. And another thing, vocal recording would be something. You wrote that you used a SM58. That's fine, but I'd suggest using a pop filter. But because there were some pops and even low frequency pops that were delayed as well. So yeah, that's something. Which concludes what we wanted to say about this. But yeah, way to go! I guess it's kind of beautiful and has some emotional weight to it. But I
think we're
have
getting
to say
to the end.
We're getting close to the end. So I hope you enjoyed this stream, our recent very rock heavy Nail the Mix session. Please subscribe to our channel if you if you don't wanna miss any other upcoming workshops. We have a basic EQing workshop upcoming with
myself,
yours truly. Please check out the HOFA contest at hofa-contest.com. There are many great prizes, and feel free to join. And we're really happy to hear from you.
Yeah, submit your songs.
Yeah, I guess that's it. Say bye for now.
Bye.